Well, the live audience can now watch live twittering because I forgot to send a tweet. So this is bonus show. If anybody watches this YouTube, you can watch live tweeting. And oh god, there's still somebody I follow from that account who posts silly things. Silly things.
What you talking about?
Oh, nothing I'm going to say on camera. I can tell you afterwards. I need the link. And well, it's there on the YouTubes. And if I switch to Facebook,
I have not seen a tweet.
Oh yeah, I already see it.
No. I'm just gonna go to the account.
Yeah, you can do that.
People are watching us, so
it's true. They're watching live twittering. It's exciting stuff.
Riveting.
I know. There's nothing more exciting than watching a guy type at a computer. Oops. And we'll just add it to the Facebook. And one of these days we'll figure out how to Facebook live stream as well. Because whatever.
If Bruce Pritchard could do it, we could do it.
But he doesn't try to stream anything else or record. Or
he's just doing one thing at a time. Yeah.
Or his computer.
Or the Sunday morning radio show. They are broadcasting over the radio waves and Facebook at the same time using the same audio and visual.
Sounds too complex for us. All right, let's do a show now that we have tweeted out and you have fapped it out. Ready? Here we go in 3.
I can't hear you.
I said.
No, I'm joking. Go ahead.
I hate you. I hate you. 3, 2, 1 for Stugots.
No.
Welcome to Geekodrome. Sword of Omens. Give me sight beyond sight. Geekodrome is the weekly roundtable discussion of all things geek. I am Jon, and over there, I'm being joined by Stugots.
Sup?
Well, it's another exciting week of pop culture entertainment for us to revisit. For instance, I watched Inhumans, so you don't have to.
I'm glad only one of us had to suffer.
Yeah. So, I brought it up when the show first came on, and I stuck with it because I'm a sucker. And, I wanted to like it. I really wanted to like it. But here's the quick version of the show. You have the super-powered royal family of the moon, and you have Maximus the Mad, who performs a coup.
Maximus.
Because he doesn't have any powers. And he is the king's brother.
Someone's overcompensating.
So, everyone scatters to Hawaii. And
of course. Well, you go to paradise if you're going to live in hiding.
Well, yes. And then they all, for one reason or another, lose their powers. So we are now a show about superpowered people on the moon, taking place
superpowers
in Hawaii with no superpowers. And they must figure out how to stop Maximus.
This is so weird.
And ultimately, yes, they get back together by episode 6. They go back to start to confront Maximus by episode 7.
All together now. All together now. All together now.
And then they blow up Adelan on the moon. And all of the Inhumans, royal family, and regular people too, are now on Earth somewhere.
If they blew up part of the moon, wouldn't that wreak havoc on the Earth's
What?
magnetational field?
Just a city. They just blew up the city. So
A
the
city
dome,
on the moon.
yes, but the dome that covers the city collapsed in on itself. So they didn't blow up the city per se. It just
So then there's space debris floating around that will eventually fall down to Earth?
well, no, because the moon does have gravity, so everything fell inward.
Inward.
Although
And it's
it
just going
did.
to stay there, attached to the surface.
I would also like to point out that the gravity in Adelan during all of the scenes taking place there seemed to be normal Earth gravity. So this whole city just imploded, kaboom, and Maximus is trapped underneath.
Underneath the city.
Underneath the city. Now, this would be interesting if they then took these Inhumans, who are completely different than the Inhumans that we saw in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. till now, and they took these...
It's not supposed to be. It was supposed to be the same, right?
Well, it's the new humans, if you've read the comics at all.
Oh.
But this would be kind of interesting if then on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., we see the Inhumans from the moon, and it forwards the storyline on that show.
Right. But we
The
won't.
problem is they're in space right now.
Right.
So they're, at least for the foreseeable part of the season, there's no potential crossover because they're out in space.
Right. Maybe they're going to build up to that all season long, and we'll have that like for Sweeps Month over in May.
Except that people really didn't watch Inhumans, so making it a sweeps event is sort of anticlimactic. But that's where we are with Inhumans. And
I really do love Agent Coulson and May and Fitz and Simmons and Mac and
Sky. Quake.
Who was the English dude with the chick with the red hair?
Oh,
that left the show. Bobby.
Yeah,
right?
Bobby. Yeah, and
what was the
I'm gonna
dude's
blank
name?
on his name. It's not Mac. It's
I like them all very much.
What about Quake? What about Sky?
I show just, I don't know. There's something off about it, and it doesn't need to be off about it. Like, I loved Ghost Rider. I loved some of the crossover that it did with Agent Carter and how it loosely tied into the films. But yeah, there's just something. I can't place my finger on it that I just don't like.
Well, I'm glad it's not Sky, because,
Man, it's like it's right there on the tip of my tongue. I just can't verbalize it properly.
Daisy, Daisy, tell me your garden do.
Only I had like a bouquet of some sort of wild flower to enhance my memory. So now, what you're saying then is what they've built up to for the last few years on that show of the Inhumans tie-in isn't going to happen and really won't tie in properly anyway.
Well, they were never planning for a tie-in because Inhumans was originally going to be a movie.
Right.
And it was planned for 2017, 2018. I mean, to the point where we're kind of getting close to where the end of the original Marvel Universe plan, which was which would have had Inhumans towards the end of it, and then it kept getting pushed back, and then it became a TV show, and the first episode premiered in IMAX. But what we got was what we got. An unsatisfying, movie or TV series.
It was like we got gypped somewhere along the way.
Yeah, and I mean, so if you ever read the Jay Lee series of Inhumans, and I'm gonna blank on who the writer was, but it was just a great series. Was it Chuck Dixon?
I don't know. He's my favorite comic book writer, so I just said him.
I don't think he did though. I think he was at DC at the time doing like Robin. Paul Jenkins. Yeah, Chuck Dixon was doing like Batman stuff back then.
Yeah, I know. That's why he was my favorite, because that's what I was reading all the time was Batman.
So the Paul Jenkins, Jay Lee was kind of what a lot of this was based on. All the and even what a lot of like the Inhumans comics now, except for the New Human stuff because they couldn't have X-Men, and it's just it was so unsatisfying. It was so much great stuff they could have done with it, and there's such great characters. I mean, the show should have been Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Even to the point where Maximus was what's his name from Game of Thrones?
Roman Reigns.
Yes, Roman Reigns. I'm gonna have to look because I'm gonna blank out his name. Even Roan. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Iwanrheon. But I mean, he was just a bastard on Game of Thrones. He was he was a bastard on Inhumans, and he was so good. But it's not what it should have been, and it's unfortunate. It really is.
I had all this great source material, great actors, and then to quote Bruce Pritchard, and then the bell rang.
Yes. Yeah, so, I mean, I have nothing against any of the actors. The acting was all fine.
Yeah.
Everybody was cast well, I thought. But, that superpowered show, and the first thing you do is take away everybody's powers one way or another. Although, Lockjaw, of course, was the best part of the show because he's Lockjaw. The giant teleporting dog.
I wish I had one of those.
Yeah. Well,
I would ask Jen right now for one, but she's sleeping because she worked all day.
Oh, so no screaming out to her tonight?
No. And she has to work tomorrow, so there's no shouting out for Jen.
So
where's my giant teleporting dog?
Which just means we're gonna have to do it double next week.
And then she'll go, what? Where's my giant teleporting dog? I don't know.
So on the bright side, we are 3 weeks away, December 1st, from the premiere of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I can't wait.
So there was also a commercial for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on the final episode of Inhumans.
Yeah.
And it's aired elsewhere since then.
I've not seen it.
Okay. Well, I thought it gave away too much.
Oh, then it's perfect that I didn't see it.
Yeah, so I told you about the first 20 minutes of the show.
You did?
And when I saw it at New York Comic Con.
Oh, okay.
And, it was a great taste and a lot of, what's going on. And then the commercial showed what was going on.
Oh, good. I won't watch it.
Yeah, don't watch it. We'll talk about it in December. But it's just they were showing things that are not shown in the first 20 minutes, but are talked about, what's attacking everybody in the space station.
Ooh.
And they showed it. And that
is it dark matter?
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to spoil it for you. But, they also showed blue-skinned aliens in there. So I'm wondering if that's going to be the Kree.
The Kree, yeah.
Who are, the alien race that created the Inhumans. So we'll see what happens. And we'll come back to that on December 1st. Or at least whenever we record after that. Because I don't think we're going to do a very special episode just for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
No, because it airs Thursdays now, right? Or Fridays?
Fridays.
Yeah, I work Friday nights.
I know. I go out Friday nights. I catch up on Sunday with my my Inhumans. For some reason. Still wondering why I did that. But at least it was only 8 hours.
It's only 8 hours of your life you'll never get back.
Well, thankfully I was kind of using it as background noise by the end. So I'd be writing or something on the computer or whatever.
Productive time.
So yeah. But we'll come back to that. But you know what else Marvel's been doing, which have been
hot picks.
Hit or miss? Besides hot picks,
they've
been having their Netflix series.
Yes.
And we are less than a week away from Punisher. So,
Oh, that's right. I'd forgotten all about it.
so we'll be hitting some of that up next week, talking about The Punishers. I don't think we're getting through the
What's
whole
the date
series.
on it? That's when it comes out.
3 a.m. Friday morning.
Okay.
So I'm hoping to get at least a few hours of it in this weekend.
Mhm.
You know, between that and going to see Justice League. It's a lot. There's a lot of superheroes.
Justice League, I have to put off until Thanksgiving Eve.
Uh-oh. We're going to have to wait a whole extra week for Justice League?
Yes, I'm sorry.
All right.
Because I work Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, we record Monday. I can't get through a couple of hours of Punisher and Justice League.
Have you considered quitting your job?
As soon as I start making money from a project or 2 or 20, I'll be happy to.
Sponsors, if you're listening, Geekodrome is here. We're willing to take your money. Call us. Call us.
I'm gonna have about 25 things that I'm working on. You think one of them would hit?
I know the feeling. I know the feeling. But so, did you hear about that? Came out earlier this week that Disney tried to buy Fox.
Yes, they thought it would be the best way for them to get the movie rights to X-Men back.
Well,
To just
among
buy
other
the whole
things.
studio.
Well, that and they want to improve their TV, portfolio.
Yes,
It was supposed to be the real reason. But I don't know. I like the fact that Fox is doing interesting things with the X-Men, and you wouldn't have gotten that with Disney.
Oh, you like Legion? We wouldn't have gotten that.
I think Legion's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Deadpool, we wouldn't have had an R-rated
We would have
Deadpool
gotten
movie.
that. Yeah.
We have X-Force coming, which is going to be within the same vein. New Mutants looks like a horror movie from the trailer.
I saw a trailer for that, and it scared me. I don't like horror movies. I do like the fact that the superhero genre is expanding into other types of genres. So then it's like there could be anything could be made into a superhero movie. Like there could be any kind of movie.
Yeah, I mean, there've been a lot of
it's done right.
I mean, there's a lot of like indie comics and non-superhero books that have been movies before. But I like the fact that you could put these things into a superhero genre.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, well, the kids have powers and they're being attacked by the giant mass killer who's, chasing after them. So you can have Jason versus the X-Men.
Yeah.
And I think that is interesting. Not to say there hasn't been like telekinetic characters in Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street or whatever, but
yes, but this is different.
Yeah, but this is trained heroes trying to save the day. I think it's interesting, and I like that. And I don't think we would have gotten that if it was all Disney.
No, you definitely wouldn't have. Disney's going to go into everything that mindset of this has to be Disney-fied.
Exactly.
Which means it's got to appeal to children and adults.
It has to be family fun for the whole family.
Family, yeah.
And we have to be able to make a ride of it at the amusement park.
Exactly.
While I do appreciate that kind of movie, sometimes it's nice to have alternatives. But then again, Blade was rated R back in the day. And that was, fun.
Man, that was good. The techno music in that and the fight scenes, that was excellent stuff.
Yeah, I rewatched it within the last several months. Stands up. It's still like a quality film.
That's cool.
So I still enjoy the Blade series. So I mean, I think we'd be missing out on like experimentation and trying to play with it. But on the other hand, we might finally have a good Fantastic Four movie if Disney does it.
Yes. And maybe something different out of the X-Men that we haven't already seen.
Yeah. Well, X-Men, that franchise has been hit or miss. I mean, there's some great movies and some shitty ones.
First Class was amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
First Class was so good, but then you also had X-Men 3.
Yeah, very bad.
Mutants United was just awful.
Awful. Days of Future Past, excellent.
Yeah, I mean, the current trilogy's been very good. Although, all right, not the last one.
Age of Apocalypse?
Yeah, not so good. And it came out the week after Civil War, which just made it even worse.
Killed it.
I know. It's like, I went to Civil War. I had a good time. I went with family. I went with friends. I saw it, 2 times in the theater before seeing X-Men, which I had to go to by myself on a Sunday afternoon. And I'm sitting there going, all right, well, this is definitely a movie.
Yes, it's a film.
I'm in the theater. I have popcorn. There's a projector pushing light to the screen.
And it's dark.
Is definitely a movie.
It's a movie.
And that is the nicest thing I can say about that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Although some of the characters it was nice to see on screen. So, I mean, I'm an old school diehard X-Men fan. So it's just, sometimes it's just about seeing those characters.
Yeah. But that's not enough.
No.
That's enough to get you into the theater. That's not enough to keep you in the theater.
Yeah. But they had my money, so I wasn't going to leave early.
Yeah.
But what can you do? But Disney, on the other hand, is also doing one other thing. They are starting their own online, I don't know, app, service, whatever. I guess service is the right word.
Yep, they will be a network subscription.
And the reason I brought up the Netflix Punisher series is because Marvel is going to pull all the Netflix series.
Your New York accent came out really thick on the because.
Hey, forget about it.
Because
they're going to pull it. So we don't know what's going to happen to those series after the end of 2018. We have 3 or 4 more series left. We have Jessica Jones Series 2 is already wrapped. Luke Cage Series 2 is already wrapped. Daredevil is going into production within the next month. And Iron Fist Season 2 is supposed to be going into production like a few weeks after that. So they might be trying to rush out the last 4 before switching over. And then after that, we don't know what happens. Are we losing the Defenders altogether?
I think so.
You don't think that Disney would do like gritty, series like that?
No. They'll change it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to see more adult fare continue.
I would too. I think it's a very nice change of pace.
So, would you pay for a Disney service? Now, they've said it's going to cost less than Netflix. So, it's under $10 a month. That's the only thing we know. You will have access.
How extensive of the library will be available?
They have not said yet. I mean, obviously, it's going to be quite a few of them.
Like, these are the factors to me. Like, let's, for argument's sake, is the old Mickey Mouse Club from the 50s going to be on there?
That would be very cool if it was.
Are the original, like their original movies, or you're going to have Snow White on there? You're going to have Pete's Dragon. Like, it all depends on how much they roll out and what their plan is going forward. Like, hey, we're going to put out, let's just say, 60% of the Disney vault of its entirety will be on there. And then over time, we'll roll stuff out, roll stuff in.
Well, the thing is that Disney has always had what they call the vault. Right. In the era of VHS, a movie, one of their famous cartoon movies, let's say The Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast, would come out on VHS. It would be a special edition, platinum edition, whatever they want to call it. And then it would be out for, let's say, 6 months. And then it would be back in the vault. And you couldn't buy it for 7 years.
Right.
Obviously, that time has shortened now. But they still do the same thing where you can't buy the DVD for a while. You can't find it online legally for a while. So, they'll probably continue to do it like that. But then they're also going to be producing stuff specifically for the service.
Right.
So you'll have your Marvel series. There's rumor of a Star Wars series. I believe they said live action. I mean, I'm guessing the stuff that's already out there will be out there as well.
Well,
High School Musical series
for the first 3 months, and I would go from there.
Yeah. So personally, I'm enough of a Disney head that I would subscribe and give it a shot, especially if it's only like $5.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. It depends how much it costs. But if there's a
Because
good
we
solid,
spoke one time on the show about how there were too many subscription-based services.
oh, we've talked about that multiple times.
Right. So now here's another one, and it's a big one. It's not like the Fight TV app. I mean, it's Disney. I mean, it's the largest entertainment company in the world. So,
and when Disney bought like Lucasfilm and Marvel, I mean, I openly said Disney bought my childhood.
Yeah.
Between the three properties, the Disney, the Marvel, and the Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, and they also own Muppets, which they bought a couple of years ago. So between all those properties, that's my childhood. So, I would consider paying for that service, especially if it's cheaper, so I could watch those series and the movies that come out, because right now Netflix gets them exclusively, whatever, like whenever they go out on DVD, they're on Netflix like a month or two later.
So that's where them buying Fox definitely comes in, because Fox has a gigantic TV library.
Oh, huge. And the production companies and everything else.
Yeah. So if they're looking at buying Fox just for that, I mean, if you just think about all those Fox TV series that would be available on the Disney app.
Yeah. And again, so they also own ESPN, but I think they're going to keep that as a separate app.
Yes.
Because I think it would be overkill to put all the sports with it.
Yeah, definitely.
But, once that's going to be a subscription service all its own, and people will pay for that one.
Definitely.
Not my thing, but then again, I also don't pay for the WWE network.
I do, I know you gladly. For 3 years now?
Yeah. I'm a fan, but I'm a lapsed fan. On the other hand, I'm thinking of buying tickets to the Raw 25th anniversary show.
Oh, you should definitely do that.
So, yeah.
It's going to be like a really big deal. They're going to have some stuff go on in Brooklyn and some stuff at the Manhattan Center.
Yeah, I would probably buy tickets for the Manhattan Center. The site of the original Raw.
The WWE network, I mean, the classic stuff that's up there is awesome. For me, they don't do enough original programming where it gets, and that's where it gets annoying to me. It's like they have a great series called Table for Three. First of all, each episode is not long enough. Each episode could be an hour, easy. And that's something I would definitely want to see more of come over the course of the year, rather than, hey, right after we film these at WrestleMania weekend and then we pump them out every week for like 2 months after, and then because everything has a season, they do Edge and Christian show for a couple weeks, and then Legends with JBL comes in and out. But to me, the main reason is to get that old stuff. I watched Wrestle War 92 last week with the War Games match. Unbelievable stuff. The old ECW. And if that's the business model or the model for the app that Disney follows, it would definitely be worth whatever they're going to charge.
Yeah, I also see Disney would do more high-end programming than and because their focus is the kid market, and they know they have to keep pumping it out. Even if they have kids will sit and watch the same episode of something for 100 times.
Yes.
But, they need to keep pushing out like Jake and the Neverland Pirates or Sophia the First or whatever it is that the kids are watching.
But if they took the time to say, hey, you know what, we're going to greenlight some original series such as, I don't know, The Adventures of Captain Hook, and come out with a whole series of a young Captain Hook building up his reputation of being this ruthless pirate, and the Lost Boys, or just the adventures of the Lost Boys, of how while Captain Hook is establishing his reputation, these kids are the only ones like that stop him from like that one big haul that'll cement his legacy.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I just came up with that off the top of my head. They could be paying me for these.
They should be paying you for these.
Motherfucker.
How dare they? Taking your ideas for free like that.
But if it's that kind of stuff, I mean, I would love to see different stuff than just.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously they're going to
things
try
out.
and they're going to try and do new IPs as well as, their established ones.
Yeah.
They're just trying to do a High School Musical series. So, you know what that tells you.
I thought we had that. It was called Glee.
I don't know. I never watched it.
Oh.
I
Seemed like that's what it was.
I don't need to watch auto-tuned karaoke. I'm good.
I just walk around my house and do it.
Yeah. Well, I know you keep the auto-tune machine
I do.
right there in the corner at all times, just in case.
It's right over here.
It's over there now.
It's over here now. Boogaloogaloo, boogaloogaloo, boogaloogaloo.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're not even seeing the service till 2019. That's what we know so far.
Oh, the world's going to end by then.
It feels like
What are
it.
you gonna worry for?
It feels like it some days.
Oh, wait, I'll be right back. I got to smash my Krueg coffee pot that I already paid for.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, let me buy my cup of Starbucks and then throw it in the trash. Because that'll show you.
Don't worry, because you have to put the right name on there so that they have to call it out.
Yeah.
What was the other?
I put Trump on my cup just so they have to shout it.
My absolute.
And then I throw it in the trash.
My absolute favorite.
$7.
Oh, my absolute favorite was the boycott of Hamilton.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy tickets to the show and don't show up.
No,
they'll do a play in front of an empty house.
No, the problem is they couldn't get tickets if they wanted to.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I bought mine 6 months ahead of time, easily, maybe a little more, and it's quite expensive. And I mean, they'd have to be spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars just to get a pair of tickets.
On the aftermarket now. They're getting them on StubHub at that point.
Yeah, exactly. And just to throw away that money. Yeah, okay. It's ridiculous.
I am not going to watch the NFL until some person stands for the national anthem while I sit on my couch at home and watch.
There was one other really good boycott, and I don't remember what it was. But it was, again, the same thing where they had to buy...
It was like you spent money to prove a point.
And my thought every time is, you don't know how boycotts work, do you?
No. Hey, let's all meet at the Walmart parking lot on Sunday after we purchase an inflatable kiddie pool and gallons of water that we'll throw into the kiddie pool, and then we're going to throw tea bags into the kiddie pool.
Hey, no teabagging. This is a family
friendly
show.
Sorry.
Keep that teabagging to yourself.
This is America. This is America.
It is. Yes, it is. But, Mal wants you to know that she's read all your work and she thinks that Stugots strong.
Thank you. I sent Mal some pages of the Jericho comic book that I wrote.
Oh, how come I haven't read this?
Because I think it sucks, but she's an artist, and we might see some sort of digital comic book forthcoming.
Ooh, The Adventures of Stugots.
No, it's Jericho.
Based on the TV show?
No.
Based on the wrestler?
No.
Based on the comic book?
No. It's a comic book I wrote.
I know, but you may want to watch the title. I think there was a Jericho comic book based on the TV show.
I have no idea. I don't even know there was a TV show.
Yeah, it ran for like 2 seasons. I never watched it. It was some end of the world type thing.
I pitched 2 ideas to Mal for the digital comic book. She gravitated towards the one that I wasn't I'm not keen on either of them. I think they both suck. But she gravitated towards the one that I already had stuff written for.
Well, you have to tell me what they are off the line so people can't steal the ideas on the show.
Yeah. Thieving fuckers.
Those bastards. Thieving bastards. All right. So bring us back and on track to the Disney side. There's just one more story to cover. This week, Rian Johnson, director of the forthcoming Star Wars The Last Jedi, he was announced to be establishing a couple new movies. 3, in fact. And they are a new Star Wars trilogy that will take place after the current trilogy. Now, it's not necessarily storyline, but chronologically released.
Okay. So we don't know if we'll see Rey, right?
So we don't know if we'll see any characters we know. We do know it will not involve any of the Skywalker bloodline, or at least that's what they're saying so far. So no Skywalkers, no Vaders, no any of that. Solos. We don't know if it's going to be the past, if it's going to be the future, if it's going to be, somewhere else, if it's going to even involve Jedis and bounty hunters. What do you think? What do you think, Stugots?
I mean, I'm curious as to what it will be. Moving away from the Skywalker Vader bloodline, to me, is gigantic because that's what the whole thing has been about. Yeah. There's always been the presence of Vader, even in anything like offshoot of Star Wars.
Yeah, now this 9-movie cycle is all Vader. It starts when he's Anakin. He dies in Return of the Jedi, but it's really his ghost that's overseeing this current trilogy.
Yes.
Because Kylo Ren wants to be like Vader. Luke is obviously in the shadow of his father still a little bit. So we'll see what happens with this trilogy. Plus Rogue One had a big Vader section.
Yeah. The cartoons. I mean, even if you go back to the Droids series, they were evading. They were trying to stay away from Vader and the Empire.
True. That is true. Although the Ewoks did not have any Vader in it.
No. The Thanksgiving special didn't have any Vader in it either.
There were 2 of them.
There were 2 Vaders?
No, there were 2 Ewok specials. One had Wilford Brimley, though.
The other one have B. Arthur? Or someone who looked like B. Arthur?
No, that's the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Oh, okay.
She ran the bar in it and had the musical number.
Yeah.
So
I was always like, what is Maude doing in Star Wars? Because, when you're a kid, you don't realize, you know what I mean, that, like, these actors act, and they're in different things. I remember, like, the first time I saw Godfather, and I was a kid. I was probably maybe too young for the film, but we watched it. And I was like, hey, there's Fish from Barney Miller. What's he doing? Or when I saw The Odd Couple for the first time and Murray the cop walked in, and it was, there's Arnold. I mean, there's Al, rather. What's he doing? What's Al doing? He's not a cop. He runs a diner.
Yeah. You don't know those. You don't learn those things as a kid just yet. You got to be taught that they are.
Oh, you know what? I just came up with the opening line for this show today, too. Shit.
Well, we can save it for next week.
No, it won't work.
Would you like to restart the show right now?
No, forget
Welcome
it.
to Geekodrome.
No. Damn
it. Well, maybe it'll work one day in the future.
It will, next year, if we're still doing a show.
Well, as long as we don't piss off our political enemies and they come after us.
They will, because I'll be saying happy holidays from now on.
That works.
Just to be contrary. When Obama was president and, everyone would go out of their way to say happy holidays, I said Merry Christmas, just to be contrary, because I just,
Yeah.
Me. So now that it's, you have to say Merry Christmas. Well, I won't be saying it.
I never say Merry Christmas, but I also don't celebrate it. So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
All right. So, I'm excited to kind of move away from that. I'm tired of being in the same characters and retreading the same stuff over and over.
And running from the Empire or squalling the uprising of a new empire. Yeah, I'm ready for something different to come out of Star Wars.
Definitely. And even these side movies, it's the origin of the Death Star, the origin of Han
Yeah.
Solo, the origin of Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's like, I don't give a shit.
Which is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the origin of Ben Kenobi, or how Ben Kenobi spent his years in exile, I think
How he
would
spent
be
his
a
Christmas
great.
break.
What'd you say?
How he spent his Christmas break.
Yeah. No, I think that in itself could be a very good series. But I am ready for different. If it's going to be something with an original, like from a character from the original series, then it's like I want to see like a Cloud City. You know, maybe Cloud City before Lando Calrissian came to power there, you know. Something different, but it can be familiar at the same time.
Yeah, I want new. I mean, otherwise we're just retreading the same crap over and over.
I agree. It's just I don't think they will go full new. I think they'll have some sort of remnants, something fringe that they'll make the new focus.
I'm looking forward to finding out what it is. So, all right. And on that note, I think we've covered everything we wanted.
Small saying something funny? Because I see you got like a smile on your face.
So, I mean, as we're sitting here, I'm just laughing because the Justice League premiere is going on while we're here.
We weren't invited.
We weren't invited, and I'm very insulted by this. I have to send out mad emails to publicists now.
Why wasn't I invited! Exclamation point. To exclamation point. The premiere. Double exclamation point.
Etc. Etc. Etc.
Etc.
So yeah. So, you know, I'm watching all the stars of the Justice League coming in. You know, we don't know. This may be Ben Affleck's last Batman role. It may not be.
Yeah.
It may be Gal Gadot's last, but it probably won't be.
It won't be her last.
Yeah, because the whole Brett Ratner thing, he really wasn't involved in Wonder Woman. And that rumor that she wants him out, he pretty much is out, regardless of what he wants.
Yeah.
You know, Ezra Miller sticking
I admire
around.
her, though, for taking a stand.
I agree. You know, but I enjoyed Wonder Woman. I didn't love it like some people, but
I loved it.
I understand the cultural importance of it.
Yes.
I just think there's a whole section in the middle where it's really slow when you try to rewatch it. Because when she leaves Themyscira, goes to London, and pretty much the whole London scene gets a little
It's a little too much.
It's a little dry.
Yeah.
And, you know, if something...
Scenes on the island were just unbelievable for me.
Yeah, even just the talking scenes on the island were so good. But, I don't know, just it didn't work for me, the London part. And then when they go back to war, it's like, all right, it starts to get interesting. And once she hits no man's land, it gets good again.
Yes.
And then, yeah, the ending still doesn't hit right with me. But, you know, I've watched it. I watched it twice in the theater, and I'll watch it when it's on cable. At least one more time.
And I will be at the sequel.
So, yeah, I'm definitely in for the sequel. I'm in for Justice League next week.
I am too. I'm looking forward to it. I hope that it does not let me down. I'm going in with great intentions of enjoying the film, unlike some people who walk in thinking, I want to hate this. I have to hate this, no matter how good it is.
No, I'm of the school of, I love both sides. I love both sets of characters. I want both to be great.
Yes.
It's, you know, it is what it is. And on that note, we're going to pick the hots with the hot picks.
I got to find my hot pick. I have it right here on my phone. Saved.
Ooh, so fancy.
Whoop. Well, I don't want anyone to think that, like, I'm not paying attention to stuff.
Well, while you're doing that, I can hit my hot pick. You know, I love games. I love trivia. I love trivia games. And there's a new app that's been around for about a week or two called HQ. And it is
what is it?
It is HQ Trivia, and it is essentially a game show on your iPhone. And basically, they run it 3 and 9 every day.
Ooh.
Eastern time. So if you're elsewhere, shift times accordingly.
Okay.
And Scott Rajowski basically hosts a game show. And
Isn't that the little yellow dude from Monsters Inc.?
no, that would be Mike Wazowski.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, this is the guy who did the talk show in subways on YouTube, the Running Late show.
Oh, I don't know that.
Yeah, check that out on YouTube. It's actually very funny.
That sounds good.
It's his musical band is the guys who do the auto-tune the news, the brothers who do that. One of them like on the guitar and stuff. It's entertaining.
I'd like
and
that.
it's all done like on the subway, so it's great here in New York City. And so basically, they just extended, so it's now 15 questions, and if you can get them all right, you win money. And if not, you don't. And it starts fairly easy, simple questions.
15 questions is a lot.
Yeah, it started at 12. They moved it to 15 earlier this week. But if you get to the end, actually during tonight's broadcast, they said that the minimum is now $1,000. So if you can get to all 15, splits the pot.
Oh.
So if 10 people make it, each get $100. If only one person gets it, they get the whole 1,000. If nobody gets it, it rolls over to the next one. So now that's doubled. So it's now 2,000.
Oh, that's really cool.
And it's just fun. I've done it. I'll do it. I'll see it pop. I'll play for a few minutes. Try to go as far as I can. I think my best was like 6 or 7.
Okay.
Which I was very happy with that one, but didn't go all the way. Tonight I got 2. I really blew up.
Fuckers.
I know, but it's fun, and the fact that it's it takes 5-10 minutes, and it's fun to. I like to do trivia. It's fun to do that. And it's like being on a game show where you can win real money.
Yeah.
So I recommend it. It's fun, and
that's very cool. I like it.
It's also a fun thing to be social with. Like if you're with people, it's like, oh hey, have you seen this? Well, they're about to go live. Let's try and work together and win.
And win money.
Yeah, that didn't work when I did it with the girlfriend. We were out to dinner, and it was just like, oh, have you seen this? Let's play. Because it was 9 o'clock, and we were out to dinner. And
she's like, no, I'm out to dinner.
It was fine. We were waiting for food.
Oh, okay.
We'll do that sometimes. We'll like play a little game on the iPhone.
That's
Connect 4 while we're waiting for food. It's a fun little thing we do. And I was able to go, oh, let's play trivia. And we were doing pretty good.
No, I like that.
So yeah, HQ Trivia. They're at HQ Trivia on the Twitters, and you can find them in the iTunes store. So what do you got for us, Stugots?
So we were talking about Wonder Woman and Justice League, and this week on the AM series, Robert Kirkman's Secret History of Comics, they talk about the Wonder Woman TV series.
Yeah, that's the episode that's airing actually tonight while we're recording.
Yeah, it may have aired because it's 11 now, like in the East, and it was supposed to air at
10.
So
while
it'll be out on the website as well.
Yeah, and I'm sure it'll rerun during the week. But yeah, I saw the episode last night, which was the history of Marvel Comics.
Okay.
It was good. I mean, it was a lot of talking heads. It was interesting.
Well, in this episode about Wonder Woman, they talked to Patty Jenkins and my all-time favorite, Linda Carter.
Yes, they did.
Oh, if someone wants to get me a gift, because my birthday is coming up on the 28th, an autographed photo of Linda Carter, autographed to me, like Stugots, you are the gold in my lasso. That would be awesome.
Or if they could get you a Funko Pop with Linda Carter signed, also, that would be nice.
Awesome too.
Because they did do a 77 Wonder Woman Funko Pop, I believe. So
that would be great.
Yeah. So, are you familiar with?
Send it here to the secret hideout.
Are you familiar with the movie that came out a couple weeks ago? Was it William Marston and the Women?
Oh, and the Wonder Woman. I have not seen that yet. Yes, I am interested in seeing that.
Yes.
I'm waiting for a screener copy.
Why haven't they hooked us up with a screen? Where's the publicist?
I don't know.
Get me the publicist on the phone.
Season 2 on this show is just going down the toilet. There's no publicist. There's no screeners.
Well, no, we're not.
What are we doing?
They're publicists. We don't have publicists.
Oh.
Publicists would be promoting us. Yeah.
Oh.
Obviously, our staff is slacking now. Not getting us these screeners. Not getting us invited to the Justice League premiere.
What are these people doing? What do they do all day?
I don't know. They're just slacking off.
Smashing Krulligs with golf clubs is what they're doing.
Yes. Well, we're going to have to go yell at them. And in that case, we can't do that while the show's running. So we're going to just have to call it a night. So
thank you, everyone, for watching another riveting episode of Geekodrome.
Next week, we may use actual rivets.
We'll do whatever we have to keep people watching.
Oh, if they want to find more Geekodrome, where can they find it on the web, Stugots? You
could find it at geekodrome.co if you wanted to go to a website. If you were going to follow us on the Twitter, it is Geekodrome Pod. And also we're on the Facebooks at Geekodrome Podcast. Last week I talked about on the show about the Thor Ragnarok fan-made poster. I posted that for you guys to check it out. I also posted some Black Adam artwork from 2010. Yes, 2010. Some cover art, and Black Adam looks exactly like The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. I would love to get some feedback from you guys on that.
Well, hit us up there. Tell us what you think. And hey, subscribe to us. Get this goodness direct to your phone.
Yes.
Through the iTunes Store or the Google Play Store even. Subscribe and rate us. We would love it if people knew how great we were.
5-star rating, baby. You rate us 5 stars and write a review, screen cap it, send it to us on the Twitter, and you get a prize.
And hey, if you want to just talk to us personally, because we're very friendly, I'm on Twitter.
Very friendly.
Jon Stugots is on there at Don Stugots.
Yep, just Jon, Don Stugots.
Occasionally he does some food stuff at the Eat Up Show on Facebook as well.
Yep. This week I'll be doing an episode of Eat Out. I'll be reviewing a local Mexican place that is just, I was going to say too sweet, but I didn't want to close it. It's outstanding. The service and the food. Last week, what did I do? I did an episode of Kitchen Hacks. We had day drinking. When the actual Eat Up show will be back, I'm not sure, but you might see that pop up here or there one late night. Well, I'm going to need some advice. I bought a new kitchen gadget this weekend. I bought a multi-cooker. Oh, I got a nice, Instant Pot multi-cooker. Yep. So I've been doing some slow cooking, some pressure cooking. Yeah. I was thinking maybe I'd set up a webcam so people can watch it slow cook. Yes, because that's what we want to see, yes. 8 hours of my slow cooking. Yes, 8 hours of your chicken sitting in a slow cooker. My chicken, my beef, my chili, whatever I'm making. I want you all to be there to witness it. So we'll see what happens with that. Hey, if you're lucky, maybe it'll be an overnight show. Oh. Well, when I made soup 2 weeks ago in the slow cookers, they cooked for over 10 hours each one. Ooh, nice. Yeah. You didn't do a full show of 10 hours? No. I did not. All right, I'll keep that in mind. Well, until next week, it has been too sweet.